He opened the apartment door expecting a quiet evening, but instead found a beautifully set dinner table with two plates. And neither of them was meant for him. The bedroom door was slightly open. A man's laughter echoed from inside. Ethan froze. The grocery bag slipped from his hand, oranges rolled across the floor, and a carton of milk burst open. The noise made the bedroom door swing wider. His 7-month pregnant wife, Olivia, rushed out in panic, while his boss, Richard, calmly buttoned his shirt behind her. For several seconds, nobody spoke. Then Olivia looked Ethan straight in the eyes and delivered the sentence that destroyed his entire world. "I never really loved you, and this baby might not even be yours." Ethan felt the blood drain from his face. Before he could say a single word, Richard smirked, placed a hand on Ethan's shoulder, and whispered, "Don't bother coming to work tomorrow. You're fired." In one devastating moment, Ethan lost his wife, his unborn child, and the career he has spent 10 years building. 2 hours later, Ethan sat alone inside his old pickup truck, with no destination in mind. Rain pounded against the windshield, but it couldn't drown out Olivia's cruel words repeating inside his head. "This baby might not even be yours." He could have demanded a DNA test. He could have fought for the marriage. But after looking into the eyes of the woman he trusted most and seeing nothing but betrayal, he no longer had the strength to fight for someone who had already walked away. The next morning, Ethan returned to the office only to collect his belongings. His employee access card had already been disabled. The security guard quietly handed him a small cardboard box containing a family photo, an old coffee mug, and 10 years of loyalty reduced to a few personal items. Richard hadn't just taken his job. He had stolen Ethan's reputation, confidence, and future. The months that followed were the darkest of Ethan's life. His savings disappeared paying rent and overdue bills. He was forced to leave his apartment and move into a tiny basement room with nothing more than a worn-out bed, a folding table, and a broken heater. Many nights he went to sleep hungry, but every morning he woke up determined to apply for another job. Interview after interview ended the same way. Richard's influence followed him everywhere, closing doors before they even opened. Ethan slowly realized that some people don't just betray you, they try to erase you completely. One evening, while sitting alone in a public library searching for free online courses, Ethan met an elderly software engineer named Mr. Howard. After hearing his story, Mr. Howard offered to mentor him without asking for anything in return. Ethan worked exhausting warehouse shifts during the day and spent every night studying cybersecurity, coding, and business strategy. For 2 years, he barely slept, sacrificing comfort for one goal: to rebuild the life that had been taken from him. Eventually, Ethan launched a small cybersecurity consulting business from his tiny apartment. At first, only one client trusted him, then another. Slowly, his reputation grew. His honesty and relentless work ethic attracted larger companies. 5 years after being thrown out of his office carrying nothing but a cardboard box, Ethan had become the founder and CEO of one of the fastest growing cybersecurity firms in the country. While Ethan's life was rising, Olivia's was falling apart. Richard left her only months after the baby was born. Their relationship had never been built on love, only excitement and selfishness. Soon afterward, Richard's company became the center of a financial fraud investigation. Facing lawsuits and criminal charges, he blamed Olivia for several internal decisions to protect himself. Friends disappeared. Money vanished. She found herself raising her little boy alone while working two low-paying jobs just to survive. One evening, exhausted after a 12-hour shift, Olivia scrolled through the news on her phone and stopped at a headline that stole her breath. Local entrepreneur Ethan Brooks sells minority stake in his company for $180 million. She stared at the photo in disbelief. The man she once called a failure had become everything Richard had only pretended to be. For the first time, she realized she hadn't simply left a husband. She had abandoned the greatest man she would ever know. Desperate for stability, Olivia submitted an application for an administrative position at Ethan's company. She never imagined he would be the one conducting the final interview. When the receptionist smiled and said, "The CEO will see you now," Olivia nervously adjusted her jacket and walked toward the office. The moment the door opened, she stopped breathing. Behind the massive executive desk sat Ethan, confident, calm, successful. The same man she had once humiliated. Neither of them spoke for several seconds. Finally, tears filled Olivia's eyes. "I'm so sorry, Ethan. I made the biggest mistake of my life." Ethan looked at her quietly. There was no anger on his face, no desire for revenge, only peace. He slowly opened a desk drawer and placed an old wedding photograph between them. "I don't keep this picture because I miss what we had," he said softly. "I keep it because it reminds me of the day I decided that nobody would ever control my future again." Olivia lowered her head, unable to stop crying. "I know I don't deserve forgiveness," she whispered. "But if there's any chance—" Ethan gently interrupted her. "I don't hate you anymore. Hate requires energy. And I spent mine building a better life." He pressed the intercom. Olivia closed her eyes, expecting security to escort her out. Instead, Ethan spoke calmly to human resources. "Please evaluate this candidate based only on her qualifications. If she's the right person for the job, hire her. If she isn't, politely decline. In this company, opportunities are earned through merit, not personal history." Olivia finally understood something she had never realized before. The greatest revenge isn't making someone suffer. It's becoming so successful, so strong, and so at peace that the people who betrayed you become nothing more than a chapter in a life you've already outgrown. As she quietly walked out of Ethan's office, she carried nothing with her except the painful truth that some mistakes cannot be undone. Some doors never reopen, and the people we underestimate today may become the ones we regret losing forever.